All right, so getting settled in. No, start to notice the breath that rises the spine through the crown of the head. And we'll start tuning into the breath. Maybe just taking a mudra, any mudra that feels appropriate, maybe palms face up. You could come into Chin Mudra, consciousness seal, with the index fingers and thumbs together, other three extended. And start to lengthen the exhale. Last breath here. Just do a quick body scan or a check-in. The feet on the floor. Notice the legs, sit bones and pelvis, the rise of the spine and arms, hands, the neck and the head. So from here, let's come into Anjali Mudra. Hands together at the heart and pause for a breath. On your next natural inhale, we'll take the arms out to the side into a cactus pose and really start to draw those back, hugging the elbows, the shoulder blades towards one another, and then bring the hands to the front. Touch the palms, touch the elbows. With the breath, open wide and draw back in. Let's do two more. Good. This time, leave your arms at the front, okay? And then maybe lifting up through the chest and then round down, elbows towards your navel. Okay, back into the center. Arms spread out to the side, bring them down, and a lateral bend. One hand to the floor, other arm rises, big stretch. Good. With the breath, sweep to the other side. Okay, we're going to come into a lateral bend on the other side again. So back into the opposite side, leave the arm where it's at. Okay, and then we're going to sweep the arms down and in front of the body to come over to the other side. So getting a little bit more rotation through the shoulder there, down, front, as we move. And one more. Right, so let's come back into the center, bring the hands together. Okay, and then we'll come onto hands and knees. Start by moving in your cat-cow. Finding some movement there, particularly through the abdominal, okay? So as much movement through the spine as you can find. Okay, and then come back into your neutral, your tabletop position, okay? Start to move the hips from side to side. And then we'll add in the shoulders too, so you're snaking along the spine. You want to undulate from side to side. Again, finding as much fluidity as you can there. Okay, from here, we'll drop back down, or we'll drop down onto the forearms, keep the hips nice and high, and we'll move into puppy pose. So step those arms, the elbows out, extend the arms. And then slowly rise up. Lift from the head. Walk the hands under. All right, let's take the right arm under the left. Shoulder and ear to the floor for our revolved puppy. And then coming back up on the next breath, let's come into an open twist to finish. And then bring that hand back down to the floor. From here, coming back into a child's pose, or you can take a downward dog. And just settling the feet. And then we'll come back down. Let's move forward. Belly to the floor, chest to the floor. Draw the forearms underneath you. Root to your pelvis and take the face pose. And drawing the chest down to the floor. We'll rise back up onto hands and knees. And then take revolved puppy on the other side. All right, so this time it's left arm under right arm, shoulder and ear to the floor. Good, and then back up into the center. Open twist to finish, and back down. All right. Good. From here, let's start with the left leg. Come into a calf stretch. So all of the foot on the floor, lengthen through your heel. Oops, I think I got somebody. Yeah, that's Amanda Wheaton. Slide her in. Sorry. So carry on with your calf stretch. There we go. Good. All right, when you feel ready, let's come out, or actually let's come into a piriformis stretch. So take the left leg over to the right side and bring the knee down to cross your legs. Hi, Amanda. Just join in whenever you're ready. Maybe on the forearms if you prefer. Excellent. All right, let's unwind. Come up, step into your low lunge. So left foot forward. Use your blocks if you'd like. Okay, and then rise up when you're ready. So we're lifting up through the spine here, into the crown of the head. Arms rise if you prefer. Okay, and then we're going to sweep the hands down, right down to the floor, with your foot to the outside of your hand. Okay, walk the hands and hit back a little bit and step the left leg out to the side. So you're opening, I'll face you for this. Okay, so we're coming from low lunge into this kind of thing here. Okay, the legs out to the side, and then lift through the upper body. Okay. So when you're in position, again, rising up through the spine, all right, if you'd like, sweeping the arms up in a big circle as you breathe, and exhale down. Good. This time, if you want, you can sort of dive into the hip out to the side, the arms come up, and down. One more time. And down. Good. All right, from here, we're going to come back down to the floor, okay? And then extend the left leg out to the side and into an adductor stretch, okay? You can stay in your hands or on your forearm. One more breath. Okay. And then from here, from our adductor stretch, we're going to come up to stand. All right. So if you'd like the challenge of coming up without using the hands, we're going to bring that left foot back forward. So back to your low lunge. Curl the toes under. Lift the back knee up. Rise through your high lunge, and then we can step forward. Okay. I'm just going to. Oh, maybe that was my computer. Sorry. Okay. So settling in mountain pose for a beat. Then we sweep the arms up overhead. Take one hand to the opposite wrist, and then tip to one side. Back to the center. Swap hands. And lengthen. Back into the center. We're going to dive into forward bend. Hands down to the floor. Okay. We'll move down the way we rose. Okay. This time lead with the left foot. Take it back to a high lunge first. Okay. If you want that challenge, you can come up. Okay. Or you can keep your hands down on the floor. And we're going to bring that back knee down. Coming through your low lunge. So we'll stay in our low lunge for a couple of breaths. Then diving forward. Send that leg back into your calf stretch. Fold the foot down. Lengthen through your heel. All right, move to piriformis stretch. Right leg over to the left side. Bring the knee down, cross the legs. On the forearms if you prefer. Okay. Good, let's unwind. Again, taking either child's pose or a downward dog. And then we'll move into a low lunge from wherever you're at. So just check your back knee is down, and then we can rise up. Arms landing wherever they'd like to be. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to take that leg out to the side again. So if I'm facing you from your low lunge, step the right leg out to the side. All right, this time, as we do the arm circles, you could move right into the sort of side lunges, if you'd like. So sending the knee out to the side as the arms rise back down. Twice more with your breath. All right. Hands down to the floor, extend the leg out to the side, and we'll stretch in up on hands or forearms. All right, so let's gather that leg back in and come down onto the sit bone. Extend the legs out at the front. So set in staff pose. To start, check your spine, nice and long. Hands resting on the tops of the thighs or at your sides. All right, we're going to start to tip back, bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Okay, coming right into our version of the boat pose. Okay, and this can be done with the feet down or up. Nice flow through the spine. All right, so let's plant the feet. We're going to move forward and then roll back. So maybe check, I'm not sure I've got enough space. Check that you've got plenty of space to roll back behind you so you can come down to lying. Without using the hands, if that feels comfortable. And then we'll take a break for a moment in constructive rest. Tuning into the breath, into the body, into that sensation of rest. All right. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe even crossing the ankles if that feels nice, rocking a little bit. Okay, coming back into the center, hold on to the right leg, extend the left leg out and down towards the floor. And then swap over. And bringing both feet back on the floor. Bring the arms down at your side, palms face down. And if you just have a look around and grab your props. So if you have bricks, you can grab those or cushions and bring those next to your hips, leaving space for your arms. So what we're going to do is we'll come into bridge pose with the optional, an optional psoas stretch, okay? If you are using bricks and you find that feels quite sore through, at the back of the pelvis, then you can either swap over to a cushion or just come back down to the ground, okay? That will make sense when we're doing it. All right, so let's set for bridge pose first. Walk the feet in, heels towards the sit bones, chin towards your chest. Inhale, drawing some breath in, exhale, feel the back body on the floor. Inhale. On this exhale, tilting the pelvis, lift up off the floor. Adjust the chin, the neck if you need to, and then find your prop. Okay? Bring it under the back of the pelvis and settling the pelvis down into a supported bridge pose. We still want to keep things active here. So just a gentle tucking in the navel towards the spine. If this feels nice as it is, please feel free to stay. If you'd like to stretch your psoas a little bit more deeply, then just slide that left leg away from you. So we're straightening that left leg with the pressure or the lift underneath the back of the pelvis. All right, so I have just adjusted my block there. I've moved it down because you do want to feel that stretch of the psoas right around, like right the front of the pelvis. So around the groin area, a little bit above and below into the leg. Up more breath. All right, and then gently bend the knee there. So maybe one of the most common things we would be watching out for in this pose is to fire off sciatica. So if you tend to get sciatica, just take care with this. Use your judgment. Two more breaths. Okay. And then coming back into bridge pose. Lift the hip, move the brick out of the way, and then just take some space. So maybe back into constructive rest, or if you want, you can move right into windscreen viper leg. Okay. And draw the knees down to one side and take the twist there. And moving over to the other side. Okay, so back into the center with the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together, taking a supine bound ankle pose. Knees bolting to the side, using props underneath the outer thighs if you'd like. Let's take a few breaths here. One more breath. Okay, now we'll start to draw the legs back together over the next couple of breaths. Okay, so from here, we're going to move back into an upright seated position. You can roll to your side to get up if you'd like. If you want to do a roll up without using your hands, so we're challenging the core, we're hugging the navel in towards the spine, and from that position, we start to lift up. Okay. Excuse me, we're going to move right into a core exercise there. So we'll do forward and back. So rooting through the sit bones, long through the spine, reaching forward, but moving the mid-body, midsection, rather than reaching from the shoulders. Okay? So throwing yourself forward, then back. We'll do a total of 5 rounds with the breath. Okay? When you've done your 5, you can release the arms down, extend the legs. Okay. All right, so we are going to, well, let's take a forward bend first. So just diving forward, sliding the hands down for a breath or two, and come back up. Let's bend the knees again. Take the feet wider than the hips, and we'll do internal hip rotation. So drawing the knee in and down, one at a time. Okay, make sure you've got plenty of room to move. So slide the legs away a little bit if you need to, or whatever adjustment. required. Okay, let's do one more. Okay. All right. So we're going to come up onto our knees now. All right. And if you want, you can do that without hands. Challenge or just not. And we are going to do a camel pose. All right. So I'll show you different versions of this. It is kneeling. So if, like me, if you want some support under your knees, you can get that sorted, a blanket or a mat. It can be quite strong as a back bend. So I would say because it's so late at night, I would only go about 50 to 60% of your kind of full capacity. So you don't want this to be too strenuous, so you might be up all night. Okay, so if you start to notice the breath shortening or you're getting that heart rate up a little bit, then we're going to take it right back. Okay, or you can even drop down into a child's pose or just wiggle around a little bit. Okay, there's different ways of doing it. So you can just stay here, bring hands to the hips, draw the elbows back and lift up through the chest. Okay, so that's one version. Another version is to bring the hands to the floor or some sort of prop. I've got my bricks, but you can do this with cushions. And do a similar thing. Draw the elbows back, maybe lengthen the arms as you lift up through the chest. Maybe lifting the chin and the gaze as well. Okay? All that done with the pelvis down on the heels. If you'd like, you can come up onto the knees. And then we're going to take, again, bricks or cushions or whatever you've got. Okay? And then we can reach back towards the props. And we're sending the hips out, lifting up through the chest. Okay? So if you're coming into this version here, really sending your hips forward. It's very strong stretch through the quadriceps. Hugging the navel in, so you're supporting your lower back using the core. And we're trying to notice the breath, okay? You might find it does come up a wee bit shallower in the chest, which is okay as long as that feels all right to you. And take 2 breaths once you're in position. Okay. We'll slowly lift out of that, whatever version you've decided to take, and we're going to move forward. So take the knees a little bit wider, big toes towards one another. We'll sit back, hips down, or if you're already on your hips to heels, then we can just walk the hands forward. And staying high in a child's, or sort of in the start of a child's pose, okay? So head is up, take the left hand out to the side, right hand on top for a nice side stretch. Good. Then take your right hand out to the side and maybe do a little twist, side to side. All right. And then come back onto the other side. So right hand plants down, left hand on top, side stretch. Then bring the left hand down in the middle. And again, you can kind of rock from side to side, finding a little spinal twist there. Okay. Go back into the center and dropping down if it feels nice. Coming into a full expression of child's pose. Start to lift the head up, walking the arms in. Right. Let's move forward. Still on the knees, still on the forearms. Okay. And then if you'd like, taking the knees and the hips up into a dolphin. Okay. If this doesn't feel nice for whatever reason, you can take downward dog as an alternative or your puppy pose. Then we'll start to move down. Let's come down onto the sit bones. All right. And just take a comfortable seat. So check in with your spine, finding that neutral position. We'll start to do some shoulder rolls. Good. And then relaxing the arms down. Take one ear over towards your shoulder. And then maybe drawing the chin over towards the opposite collarbone. Back into the center. Lift the chin up. Lengthen the front of the throat, maybe pressing below the collarbone. Extend that stretch a little. Release that there. Then chin towards your chest. Maybe hands to the back of the head. Lengthening the back of the neck. And then slowly rise. Lifting the head there. And then we'll tip the head to the other side. Ear towards the shoulder. And drawing the chin over towards the collarbone. And back into the center again. Okay, good. All right, so let's move into the shoulders, shake into the arms. Let's spend some time with the fingers and the wrists. Okay, bring the palms of the hands together, interlace your fingers, and then turn the palms out, press the arms away from you. Directly out from the shoulders. Okay, then we'll bring those back in, do the same thing again. Turn the hands over so you're, well, there's no thing, sorry. You're turning the hands over so you're looking at your palms. And back into the center. Arms out to the side and gather in, cross the arms over, squeeze the shoulders. With the next breath, open the arms wide, bring them back in, cross the other way, and squeeze. Releasing the arms down. Good. We'll take another forward bend here. If your legs are crossed and you feel comfortable, you can just walk forward that way, or you can come into a staff pose with the legs extended and then walking the hands down. Maybe if you feel like you want a big stretch here, you can go into it. Otherwise, just hang out, find some softness, and tune into the breath. Take one more breath. Okay, and then we rise. All right, scooting towards the heels, lie back, and take another constructive rest pose. Nice and soft. All right, so then we maybe add movement in. Again, doing one, you can do windscreen wiper legs or doing a little bit more internal hip rotation, dropping one leg and then the other. Okay. And then hugging the knees into the chest. Right. So if you're happy, just leaving the legs to hang out there. Okay. And then if you can, and then grab your strap or your scarf. If you have to get out of the pose to do it, to grab it, that's fine. Make your way back when you're ready. Okay, so we've got the option of taking a happy baby here. We'll start by lengthening the leg. So maybe just a sort of a mini hamstring stretch. So lengthening one leg, pressing the foot into your strap, then the other one. Okay. And then if that feels nice, you can hang out there. If you want to take your happy baby, keep the feet flexed. Take them wider than your hips, bend your knees, and start to draw the knees down towards the floor. Hold this, rock. Couple more. Okay. And when you're ready, slide the legs back together. It feels nice. You can take another moment to stretch the back of the leg. And then we'll come back down into knees in towards the chest. Give them a good squeeze. Sorry, and then plant the feet down on the floor. Let's take a big full body stretch if it feels nice. Just take the pressure off the hips there. Big stretch through the fingertips, all the way through the toes. Okay. And then just soften all of that. Release that effort a little bit. Okay. And roll onto your side. Use your hands to press back up into a seated position. Okay. Right. So I'd like to do legs up the wall or legs elevated. Lovely. If you like to do that. So find a spot where you can prop your legs up above your heart, whether that's a wall or not. And then we'll settle in. We're going to take a good 5 minutes in this pose. Use for the arms. Right. Okay, so when you're in position, just tuning in to that rhythm of breath. Grounding in the body. By observing the breath. And cultivating that sense of spacious awareness, of spacious observance, the mind, the fluctuation. Observing with curiosity if there are repeated thoughts, deep arising, sensations. Notice where the attention habitually goes. Space with the next few breaths. We'll gradually draw out of the pose. Knees down towards the body. And then roll out of the pose. All right. We're going to fold our breath work into our relaxation, or do it before today, so you can settle into your comfy spot. We'll be there for the rest of the practice. Horses, anything to aid your comfort. So settle in. Once you're in position, no rush. If it feels comfortable, bring your hand to the ribs. We'll work with our diaphragmatic breathing. Right? Once the hands are settled or your awareness is settled into that area of the body, you notice any movement there as you breathe. We'll start to deepen the breath. Breathing in, maybe for the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Really expanding the diaphragm out to the side, and then exhale, release. We won't necessarily keep counting, but as you just continue with a few more deep breaths that way, working with the diaphragm, expanding out to the side in the inhale, and exhale, release. Feel the contraction. You want that exhale to be at least as long, if not longer, than your inhale. Releasing that effort, moving fully into relaxation. Inviting the body to rest. body. Feel the point between your body and the floor. Feet and the floor. Legs and the floor. Pelvis and the floor. Parts of the spine and the floor. Arms and the floor. Head and the floor. Inviting in a little bit of movement. Stretching. And finally, allowing eyes to adjust. And when you're ready, come back up into a seated position. Okay. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you
more.
very much.